Hello everybody, it's Sarah and it's been a really long time. I'm back. Yay! I had a lot of stuff to do in the last month, so I really didn't get around to filming, or, well, it wasn't that I wouldn't have gotten around, but I just didn't really want to film because I had a lot of stress because of exams, and I felt that even if I did film videos, that would come across and I wouldn't really be able to make enjoyable videos. So I thought I'd just wait, and now I'm back. Also, what I did instead of filming my top 5 Wednesdays and reviews and stuff was I kind of got behind filming my bookshelf tours again because there are still two left, and so those are coming soon, so you can at least look forward to that. But today's video, I am going to have today's Top 5 Wednesday as well as my wrap up for November. And let me start with that. I really didn't read much in November. I haven't looked at a book, or practically haven't looked at the book in the last 3 weeks. And that kind of tells you how much I had to do with uni. And also, I had to organize a class reunion. Well, I didn't have to. I offered to organize it, but it was really unfortunate that it was at the same time as my exams. But yeah, that was stressful, and also stuff in our flat broke and we had to, Hannah and me, we had to organize all that. So I didn't get around to reading a lot, which will seem like it's not true if I show you the next 2 books, probably, but I read both of those books in the first 1.5 weeks of November. So first I reread Brandon Sanderson's The Way of Kings, which is the first book in the Stormlight Archived series, and then I continued on with the second book, Words of Radiance. I loved both of those books so much again. I'm so looking forward to the third book. And I thought I would like to reread all the Cosmere books because I thought maybe I can detect some stuff, but I noticed once again that I'm really bad at that, and I was looking up stuff about the Cosmere on the internet after I read those 2, and I was like, oh really? So that guy is actually that person from that other book? I didn't notice it all. So as far as the Cosmere goes, rereading those books didn't really help, but I still enjoyed them, and I noticed again that if you want to get into epic fantasy, if you're already kind of into high fantasy but want to get into epic fantasy, those I think are some really good books. They're not easy to get into because they are epic fantasy, and epic fantasy is never easy to get into because of the huge world building, but the way Brandon Sanderson starts his stories is very natural, and you kind of get to know stuff as you go along, and so I think that he would be a good place to start epic fantasy. So now it's time for Top 5 Wednesday, and Top 5 Wednesday was created by Lainey from Ginger Eats Lainey, and the host is Sam from Thoughts on Tomes. And as always, the links to both of their channels as well as the Goodreads group will be in the description box down below. And this week's topic is our top 5 books that we want to get to in 2017. And I have a lot of books. I have really a lot of books that have been on my shelf for up to 7-8 years. First, I have A Tale of Two Cities on Goodreads. I am currently reading this, but actually not really. I have wanted to read this ever since I read The Infernal Devices for the first time. What a surprise. And I started it a couple of times. I really enjoy it, but whenever I start it, I seem to not be in a mood for a classical novel. So it's really difficult for me to stay focused on the book. But I definitely want to get to this in 2017. Next, I have The Lord of the Rings. I am halfway through the second book. Well, actually 2/3 through the second book. I love the first book after I started it the 5th time or 6th time. And I also enjoyed the first half of this book, but now I'm at the Sam and Frodo part, and that's kind of boring for me. I also never really liked those parts in the movies. If I rewatch them now, I most of the time fast forward just parts. But I definitely want to finish this trilogy next year, or at least the second one. Next is the Books of Pelennor series by Alison Croghan. I read the first 2 books. I reread the first book 2 months ago, I think, and I am currently kind of rereading the second book, but I set it aside at the moment. And I finally got the 3rd and the 4th book a few months ago, I think in July or something, and so I really want to finish this series next year. Next is, I just want to read a book by Jane Austen. I have never read a Jane Austen novel. I have Emma at home, but it's like really big, so I don't know if I'm going to start with that. But I feel like it's time to read one of her novels, so that's something that I want to do in 2017. And lastly, I want to continue reading the different Faust interpretations. I'm probably going to continue with the second part of Johann Wolfgang von Goethe's Faust, but I'm not sure yet, so that's a bit open which one I'll read, but I'm really into this story, and so I kind of want to read all interpretations or classical interpretations that are out there, or a lot of them, so I want to continue with that. And that was all for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed standing in front of the camera again. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and subscribe. And I hope I'll see all of you guys soon, and bye!